big round of applause for Amundsen.
Think about your morning, from the time you woke up until this very moment. What did you hear? Did you hear birds chirping, squirrels chattering, the sound of the wind blowing through the trees? You probably didn't. Instead, what you probably heard was cars honking, trains rushing above your head, and, if you're like most of us, the sound of your favorite playlist blasting through your headphones.
But it wasn't always that way. There was a time where people actually listened to the sounds around them. In fact, it's only recently that we've begun to cancel out the sounds of the natural environment and replace them with man-made sounds of urban life. We were challenged by Danielle Lee to spark a scientific inquiry in our community and ignite a passion for it that is personal, relevant, important, and informative.
As our team brainstormed about how to tackle this challenge, we were visited by members of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. During their performance, one of the players talked about how the sounds that we hear every day have been changed as a result of an increased use of technology, our headphones, for example.
This was an eye-opener, or an ear-opener, because we noticed how little we attend to the natural environmental sounds, while man-made sounds, such as the wail of sirens, negatively affects our mood and our ability to focus. We decided it was time to enlist our community in a project that would document the sounds around us. In this way, we can affect change by raising awareness of the impact of environmental sounds on our community.
When we started our research, we found out that one of the many reasons why sound has importance is because it's used for communication. It warns us of danger, and it helps us recognize objects in our environment. Studying environmental sounds is also a way we can monitor the health of our local ecosystem.
Researchers who study sound about the urban environment often refer to it as the urban soundscape. Some of these researchers study how different materials and designs can have an impact on the sounds that we hear, while others focus on natural sounds. These researchers use terms like acoustic ecology and sustainable acoustics to describe their work in their field. Our solution was to create an organization that would enlist our community in documenting the sounds of the urban soundscape. We chose to focus on the kids of our community because we thought we could accomplish more if we got others excited about sound.
We went to multiple schools and presented our challenge in several fourth grade classrooms. We led the students through a workshop on sound and taught the students how sound is measured, how sound affects us, and why sound is important. Then we gave them a homework assignment. Go outside, collect your own sounds, and document what you hear.
The next week, we went back to the schools and worked with the students again. We were very excited because we had received a wide variety of sounds, including the cooking of spaghetti and the popping of popcorn. We helped the students create a musical piece made up of the sounds that they had collected. We were very thrilled because the students seemed to have a newfound interest in the complexity of sound. We were also approached with incredible questions such as, where do sounds come from? As well as letters from the students describing how much fun they had.
As a closing event, we held a showcase and celebration at our school with the students and their families. This allowed us to engage families from our community in a discussion about the sounds around us. With support from multiple elementary schools, our community, and our school, Sounds in the City plans to spread the inspiration that is the science of sound.
Sounds in the City is dedicated to raising awareness of the sounds around us. Rather than listening, most people tune out the sounds around us. This is not a positive change. Environmental sounds are an extremely important source of information for us as humans, and they can have an impact on our emotional and mental health.
It's important to us at Sounds in the City that our relationship with the sounds in our environment is not undervalued. We cannot escape this noise in the world, but we need to be more mindful of how it affects us. By raising awareness of the sounds in our environment, we are not only teaching people to hear, we are teaching people to listen.
Let's give them a round of applause. Okay, we could do better than that. I feel like we're getting a little too tired. Let's give them a big round of applause. Great job. 3 minutes for question and answer starts now.
Explain how and why you decided to work with fourth grade students in elementary schools.
We decided to work with fourth graders specifically because we thought they were at the maturity level to understand our lesson plan, but also because we thought they'd be more interested in it than possibly high schoolers or eighth graders. Since we saw the support we got, we realized that they were the best fit.
Can you talk about how you could use various technology platforms to expand your project?
Well, we use an online website called Soundtrap, which basically allowed us to make the musical pieces with them, where we took the clips and we compiled them into those pieces. And when we put them onto our website in a sound gallery with the titles that the students came up with and little pieces of art to go along with the titles.
How did, first of all, great job, wonderful. How did you all come up with the actual curriculum for the fourth grade class, and did you consult with any additional experts in the field to develop it?
Okay. Well, basically, we try to look up online to see what kind of education that they receive about sound for that grade level to see their understanding. And as well as when we went into the class, we talked or asked them what they knew already so we could work off of that. But when we wrote it, we based them online of like just templates that we had, and we did our own research on different properties of sound in order to give them like a accurate and full definition.
Have you as individuals noticed a difference in yourselves about how you listen or hear things since embarking on this project?
I definitely have. Since working on this project, I've definitely used sound as ways to, calm myself down when I'm nervous, like for this event. And lately, I've been using my headphones a lot less when I walk home because I like to enjoy the sounds of my community.
Yeah, definitely. Me too, as well. I stopped using my headphones for almost the entire course of the program. I haven't used my headphones ever since, and I just noticed sounds like I don't listen to it all the time, or I toned out because I was like, oh, they're annoying, but it was like the dogs barking in my neighborhood, like sounds that I never noticed before.
What's your bigger vision in terms of social impact outside of just raising awareness?
Well, since it can have an effect on mental health and stress levels, we thought that teaching that to other people would be important. And our challenge is about starting an inquiry revolution, so we felt that to start with awareness would be very important and make sure that it's very a strong foundation of awareness. And yeah.
We have 4 seconds. Probably not enough time for questions, so time is up.